Good evening, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Crime Watch. In this program, we highlight to you crime issues and how you members of the public can work with us in fighting crime in our communities. I am your host, Onesisa Sivanda. We start this week's episode by taking a look at COVID-19 issues. The Zimbabwe Republic Police reminds Zimbabweans that the country is still under COVID-19 lockdown measures, which include a curfew which runs from 2200 hours till 0600 hours the following day. The enforcement of these health, safety, and security measures is still paramount. Police has noted with concern that some sections of the public no longer value the wearing of face masks, observe social distancing guidelines, sanitization, and public gathering restrictions. The Zimbabwe Republic Police reminds the public that gatherings allowed by the government should strictly observe and comply with the required of 100 or less people at church gatherings, 50 or less people at funerals, low-risk sports, and sports clubs. Let us take note that weddings, birthday, house parties, political and other social gatherings, which include musical shows and concerts, are still banned. Church leaders are warned against hosting or convening all-night prayers. The police has intensified patrols, surveillance, checks, and other measures to ensure arrests are effected and the law takes its course without fear or favor. Since the onset of the national lockdown, a total of 224,037 people have been arrested, with the number of people not wearing face masks increasing each day. 23,180 vehicles have been accounted for pirating or engaging in Mushika acts, which put the lives of the public at risk. The Zimbabwe Republic Police urges members of the public to cooperate with law enforcement officers to curtail the spread of COVID-19 and to be exemplary citizens in terms of assisting the maintenance of law and order in the country. Meanwhile, the police will ensure action is taken on any police officer who will be found to be engaging in any form of corruption at COVID-19 checkpoints, roadblocks, and other enforcement sites. The public is once again requested to report such officers through these numbers: Harare 0242 748836 or 703 631, Bulawayo 029 885479, and WhatsApp 0712 800 197. Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe Republic Police is appealing for information which can lead to the location and arrest of the driver and owner of a Mitsubishi Canter truck which was pirating near Simon Muzenda Street, formerly known as 4th Street, on the 16th of November at around 15:30 hours. The motorist was picking up passengers in the middle of the road, and when approached by a police officer, he ran over the police officer who died on the spot. The driver sped off after the incident, and anyone with information pertaining to this matter to report at any nearest police station. The Zimbabwe Republic Police does not condone such inhuman and lawlessness acts, and we would like to assure you that the law will take its course on this reckless driver. Moving on, viewers will be privy of a story involving a 29-year-old Miriam Banali who stole a baby in Harare. Crime Watch crew visited her place of residence in Zimba to find out more on the story.
The old adage says, no love is comparable to a mother's love. One therefore wonders how a woman would feel in losing her child or children to theft. You will be privy with a story that went viral on social media platforms about 3 weeks ago, involving a woman who stole a baby from his mother on the 22nd of October 2020. In one of our previous episodes, we did tell you that the child has since been found and reunited with the parents. We did visit the very place where this child was being kept by this thief, the house that you see behind me, under Motsi village, Chief Chirau in Zimba, to find out more about this drama.
Akanzwa nyaya ichibva kuna triple C member yedu pazvimba vanonzi vagombe vakasvika kwandiri manheru nguva dzakada kuita kuma9 vachindiratidza video yanga iri mufoni vachinditi muri kuzviona sei munhu uyu vatagona kuidentifya munhu kuti ndiwe muvakidzani wedu.
Ndini ndakawana video mufoni kubva kuna nesi wekemurara clinic saka ndawana video ndichibva ndakurumidza kuacta ndikati munhu ndinomuziva muvakidzani wangu, saka mwana waye ari kutsvagwa rega ndibva tangoiita police case ndobva ndafonera kumapurisa. Ndisati ndafonera kumapurisa ndakaenda nevidhiyo yacho kwaari muvakidzani wangu ndichinonomuratidza. Ndamuratidza ndakamubvunza kuti ko munhu ari pavidhiyo apa uri kumuziva here? Iye akati uyu munhu handisi kumuziva. Ndikati ko mwana? Zikanzi mwana ndiri kumuziva ndewangu. Ndikati konogoti mwana ndewako? Iye achinzi missing, wakamubata sei? Akati ipapa handisi kuziva. Saka ndokubva ndafonera mapurisa.
Immediately after receiving the information from our Crime Consultative Committee and Neighborhood Watch members, we quickly reacted to the scene and recovered the baby. We also managed to arrest accused 2, Gift Chemuru, who happens to be a husband to first accused Miriam Bwanali. We then found one Shani Chalamanda, who had reported missing her child through theft. She came and positively identified the child we had recovered as the one she had reported missing. We have since handed over the case to CID Homicide, who are carrying further investigations on this case.
Tatisingambofungire kuti amai avangaite zvakadaro munharaunda zvokutora mwana asiri wavo vachichengeta. Isu sevanhu vechikadzi takanetseka nazvo, takashushikana kuti mumwe mudzimai wedu wataigara naye mune zvakanaka aine vamwe vana vake, tasingambozoti angasvikire pakudaro paakazoita pakuti angauye nemumwe mwana. Taingoti wane nhumbu yake tichingomoonawo achifamba, asi hatina kuziva kuti angazosvikire pakuenda kunotora mwana asiri wake kuuya naro munharaunda medu. Sevanhu vechikadzi takakatyamuzikana nazvo, asi tine taso rekuti vanhu vechikadzi ngatirege kuita mweya wakadaro wokunotora mwana wemumwe mukadzi waakatakuriro 9 months ndigouya ndigogara naye ndichimupa zvinhu zvisingafanira kuti ndimupe panze kuti ayomwe mukaka wamai vake. Aya sakabatikana munharaunda medu. Naipapo futi tichigara navo kudaro vanga vaine vanovo vaviri, saka kugara kwese kwataita navo taitongotiwo vana ava ndevavo. Asi nekuzoitika kwechitiko chakaitika ichi taakuzonzwa kuti vana vaviri vaya vakawanikwa kwamutoko havazi vavo futi, saka zvaakutinetsa munharaunda medu matigere.
2 more children stolen. Yes, you heard correctly. I was also shocked when I heard it for the first time. It was later established that Miriam Bwanali, the lady in question, actually stole 2 more children, different from this one, who has since been found, and she kept them in Mutoko.
Such a sad story indeed. Investigations are still underway, and viewers will be notified of any developments in due course. On that note, we'll take a short break. Join us shortly. We're in the second segment of Crime Watch. Thank you for joining us. A Harare man has been nabbed by police for possessing cocaine worth $8,080. Several other items were seized. Let us hear more.
SE12 drugs. We noticed with concern the proliferation of bad drugs in affluent suburbs, including the Harare CBD. We then deployed a surveillance team that identified targets. On 14 November 2020, the team pounced on one target leading to the seizure of 101 grams of cocaine. The accused is a 50-year-old male who had been on radar for more than a week. We recovered 101 grams of cocaine. This unidentified bluish powder, and these empty sachets which was used for packaging, and the scale which the accused also used for weighing the cocaine.
CID Drugs and Narcotics have also seized illicit beer being brewed in backyard breweries in Bari.
CID Drugs and Narcotics is collaborating with other stakeholders in an operation to flush out illicit brews and beverages. During this operation, we managed to seize the contraband which you see here. And the illicit brews includes Soldier Whiskey, Double Punch, Super Chain, amongst others. The street value of the seized contraband is 180,000 Zimbabwean dollars. The manufacturing of these illicit brews is far below the provisions of the Food and Food Standards Act. The consumption of these illicit brews causes unforeseen health hazards. We urge you not to buy from backyard manufacturers. It is important that members of the public join the fight and give information to the police relating to the illicit brews. We are all affected as a community or a society, direct or indirectly.
Now looking at traffic issues. As we are now in the rainy season, motorists should exercise maximum caution on the roads and should ensure that their vehicles are in perfect condition and that everything is functioning well.
The rains are upon us and would like to appeal to drivers to ensure that they do adequate pre-drive checks so that they drive safely during this rainy season. During your pre-drive checks, you should also ensure that you check your wipers. They may have been affected by the dry weather and you need to replace them. So it is of importance to make sure that you check your wipers, ensure that they are soft. If they are very brittle, remove them and put other wipers that are still new. It is also important to ensure that the lighting system of your vehicle is working properly, as when it is raining, we would not have the opportunity to use hand signals. So it is important to ensure that before you use a vehicle, you check that your indicators are working. You also check that your brake lights are working. You also check that your reverse lights are working. It is also important to ensure that your headlights are in good working order. This will ensure that we have effective communication even if it is raining. We would also like to urge motorists to switch on their headlights on low beam even if it's during the day when it is raining. During the rain season, you find that cyclists also become very vulnerable because of the weather and because visibility has been limited for motorcyclists. The law requires that a cyclist should wear something reflective anyway on their clothing. This will ensure that they are seen by the motorists as we drive and cycle during the rain season. We also urge pedestrians to ensure that they cross the road at designated crossing points instead of running up and about and maybe stamp into a hole or maybe slip and then get injured or killed by motor vehicles. The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe is deeply concerned about the mushrooming of commuter omnibuses that are not registered with the national transporter ZUPCO. Such commuter omnibuses were seen plying the CBD, and what is of great concern is that some members of the public were actually getting into those commuter omnibuses. They are in an unroadworthy condition in such a way that we saw some of them with shattered windscreen, and you'd wonder how the driver is going to have sight of the road that is going to travel on. Some of them have gone to the extent of removing the sliding windows and replacing them with plywood. That plywood is not opened and you find the commuters will be crammed into that commuter omnibus and they risk spreading coronavirus, as health authorities have advised that windows must be open and people should not be in a room that is not open. We would like to appeal to members of the public to desist from boarding such commuter omnibuses and risk losing life or limb or catching the deadly coronavirus. Such transport operators are violating construction equipment and use regulations, and they are also violating public service vehicle regulations, which are designed to ensure that the vehicles that carry people have got windows that slide open and close, and also they've got seats that are suitable for people to sit. We would also like to inform members of the public that at the moment it's only the commuter omnibuses that have got ZUPCO stickers that are allowed on the roads. Members of the public should ensure that they board ZUPCO buses or any commuter omnibuses that has got a sticker on the side to ensure that we travel safely and save lives.
The police would like to advise members of the public that combis or private vehicles which are pirating within cities and intercity routes will be impounded. Besides the drivers, Action will be taken on the owners who are obviously not taking heed to the government's call to be responsible and law-abiding citizens. We're in the third and final segment of Crime Watch, looking at security issues. Let us hear more from a local security company.
Today we are focusing on security on the go. As previously alluded, crime trends tend to shoot up before and during the festive season. While it's focusing on your security at home and at the business, as we move around from place to place, we always need to be security conscious and be looking at our environment in terms of what is happening around us. If you are driving, you always need to check if there is any suspicious cars following you. If you are walking on foot, you always need to be security conscious of anything that is happening around you, any suspicious activity, any suspicious people. Many a time, when people get mugged or robbed on the go, they would have noticed some suspicious activity, they would have noticed some suspicious people, but they would have thought nothing of it. So basically, when you notice some suspicious activity, you should take precautionary measures to ensure your safety. If you notice suspicious activity or persons and you've got company, please inform them so that they are alerted. Also, if you can move away from that area, do so immediately. We have also noticed a spike in the number of cases of smash and grabs. As you can see, there are cars parked behind me in a public space. When you have valuables in the car, before you get to where you want to park, you need to move those valuables into your boot so that when you eventually park your car, nobody knows that you have any valuables that are in the boot. If you place your valuables when you get to your parking spot, that is also a security risk. If you, for example, notice that you are being followed, it would be advisable to drive to your nearest police station. And also, as security services providers, we have developed apps that can help you get security assistance even when you're on the go. Whenever you need security assistance when you're on the go or at home, you simply need to press the panic button which is on your cell phone. A 24-hour control center will be notified. As soon as our control center is notified, they will quickly dispatch a rapid response vehicle to your assistance. The rapid response team will also be able to escort you home or to the nearest police station.
Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe Republic Police Staff College recently held its 37th blended virtual graduation ceremony. The Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Honorable Kazembe Kazembe, was the guest of honor, and in his speech, he hailed the unity of the security forces as they were members of the Zimbabwe National Army and the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services who were graduating as well.
Today is a momentous day as we are celebrating the conferment of diplomas and certificates to 350 police officers and other members of the security services, comprising 263 males and 87 females who have successfully completed studies at this prestigious institution. I'm exceedingly gratified to note that officers from other security forces are graduating together with their police counterparts, a clear indication that friendship and cooperation exist among our security forces. As the nation journeys towards the attainment of an upper middle income economy by the year 2030, government is committed to fostering and strengthening a peaceful, safe, secure, and prosperous Zimbabwe. Government also remains alive to the reality that police officers need to have modern tools of trade, as well as requisite training if they are to outmaneuver criminal sophistry and propensity. Concerted efforts will relentlessly be made by the government to avail the requisite resources and also work towards the upgrading of Police Staff College into a modern institution of higher learning.
Sport is vital in promoting good relations between the ZRP and the public. Recently, the Zimbabwe Republic Police hosted its 2020 ZRP Golf Tournament, fundraising for the upkeep and maintenance of the ZRP Golf Club, as well as socializing with various stakeholders who assist in the fight against crime.
I'm exceedingly delighted to mention that this fundraising journey, which started in 2017, has become an annual event. I'm pleased to inform you that all funds raised from previous fundraising efforts have been committed to the golf course developmental projects. It is in this regard that this year's fundraising effort seeks to raise more funds to support the organization's endeavors at this wonderful sporting facility. Construction of a water reservoir is one of the major projects being undertaken. I am delighted to note that this year's tournament has come at a time when the ZRP is continuously making tireless efforts to improve service delivery. This indeed needs to be commended as it reflects the unwavering dedication which the police has in maintaining law and order as well as fighting crime within our country and beyond. In line with this, it remains crucial for the police to partner various stakeholders, including the business community, as there is always strength in numbers. Therefore, by engaging in sporting and fundraising activities of this nature, it is my sincere hope that the synergies between the ZRP and the business community will be continuously entrenched and sustained.
Indeed, each year we have sought to fundraise resources for particular projects aimed at improving our facilities, uplifting the communities, paying for orphans and widows, among other social responsibility activities. The Gold Tournament is one such initiative where we are exceedingly grateful for the tremendous support we continue to receive from the various captains of industry, eminent dignitaries, and benevolent individuals. The invaluable support we continue to receive from members of the corporate community and distinguished citizens over the years is always greatly appreciated.
Before we come to the end of this week's episode, we would like to highlight some people who are on the police wanted list. Mtumbane Police Station is looking for Sandiso Chabalala, aged 27, of house number 369 Emakhandeni, Bulawayo, for a case of assault. Innocent Moyo, aged 28, of Samasi Village, Chief Sikobokobo Ngai, is wanted by ZRP Esikotini for a case of prospecting for gold without a license. Also wanted for a case of prospecting for gold without a license by ZRP Esikotini is Ngobizita Ncube, aged 36, of Esihlenogoni Village, Chief Sikola Esikotini. If you have information that may help in the location of any of those people, please contact any nearest police station or get in touch with us on the following details. Our national complaints desk number is 0242 703 631. The website address is www.zrp.gov.zw. Email address feedback@zrp.gov.zw. We also have a Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe and our Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. To those who may have missed any of our programs, do not despair. All Crime Watch episodes are available on our YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. It has been a pleasure having you along. As police, we continue urging you to stay at home, regularly sanitize, wear masks, and practice social distancing to stay alive and healthy. From me, Onesisa Sivanda, and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing. See you next time.